Hardware and Building Center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to the Rogers Center. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The roof is open. It is Junior Jay's Saturday. It always means it's a great atmosphere inside the ballpark. Boston scored 8 runs last night for the first time in 17 games. They had been stuck on 5. They scored 5 or less in 16 straight ball games until last night. Jacoby Ellsbury, Daniel Nava, Dustin Pedroia back with the ball club. He was away for last night's game. He has worn out the Blue Jays this season. 15 for 48. And he's had some extra base hits, 6 of them, in fact, and driven in 7 runs. Cody Ross, James Loney, and Jared Saltalamacchia, middle of the order. Ryan Lavarnway is the DH this afternoon. He homered in last night's game. Mike Aviles returns to shortstop, and Pedro Siriaco is the third baseman.
Carlos Villanueva gets set to throw his warm-up pitches as he gets ready for his 14th start of the season. That is a new career high for Villanueva. Last time out, that was against the Boston Red Sox. He gave up a couple of home runs. The only run scored against him in that start back at Fenway Park. He ended up with a no decision because of a Dustin Pedroia home run late in that ball game. Career numbers versus the Red Sox: he's made 8 appearances. He's had 3 starts against them, 2-1 with a .450 earned run average. A little bit different last time out, and more of a fastball changeup combination against the Red Sox. Didn't see that good curveball, didn't see that slider as much as we had seen in the past.
Those have always been important pitches for Villanueva. He's gotten away from him a bit defensively behind Villanueva in the outfield. Anthony Ghost starts in center field, his 9th start in center this season. He's flanked by Rajay Davis and Moises Sierra. Yunel Escobar and Kelly Johnson, a double play combination up the middle. Brett Flores at third. Adam Lind is making his 44th start at first base. And Yorvin Torrealba making his 726th career start behind the plate. He is the most experienced Blue Jays catcher.
And just a day off for Colby Rasmus. He went 0 for 3 against Clay Buchholz last time. So Anthony Ghost will get the start in center field.
Ghost is a natural center fielder. Rasmus gets the day off. Sure, he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Well, Blue Jays trying to even a series at a game apiece. They lost last night. Boston scored 3 runs in the top of the ninth and won at 8-5. Jacoby Ellsbury leading off. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's up and in. The win last night for Boston was their 100th win here at Rogers Center. It's the most wins by any visiting ball club. The Yankees have won 90 games here at Rogers Center. There's a strike. It's 1-1.
And this guy had a good game last night. Ellsbury had a couple of hits, but he was also robbed a couple of times of base hits. There's his numbers over his last 20 games. Could have had another 4-hit night very easily. It keeps a pattern for him going.
Had a great run in September. He hits this ball high and deep to right. Sierra breaking it down right on the warning track. Makes the catch just in front of the scoreboard. 1 down. Well, Daniel Nava, the left fielder, will bat second. And what a catch he made in last night's ball game. Saved a run for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a game changer also. Blue Jays were threatening, and they had the go-ahead run on base. This ball looks like it's heading to the gaps before Nava goes over there. Backhander and just takes it right off the carpet for the out. And he almost ended up getting a double play at second base. Uncorked a nice, strong throw to second. But that right there, I thought, was the difference in the ball game.
Potential extra base hit for Lind, and he turned it around. Nava takes the strike. Blue Jays are using the shift. Look where Escobar was on that first pitch, taking the bunt away. Now he backs up to a more reasonable position.
Nava faked like he was going to bunt. I think he was going to go ahead and swing away and just slap the ball to the left side of the infield.
That curveball from Villanueva. And as Pat mentioned, we didn't see an awful lot of breaking balls last time out. It'll be interesting to keep track of Villanueva and just how frequently he goes to those breaking balls.
Use the fastball a little bit more now, a little bit more conventional defense as they have the overshift.
Villanueva is ahead 0-2. There's that good slider. Now that's the difference that was missing last time out. He didn't have that good biting slider
So he had to turn to the changeup. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Carlos Villanueva, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. A little bit of everything is what you could say about Villanueva. Fastball about 92 miles an hour or so. An excellent changeup that he will use, and that's the second most pitch that he will use. The slider is the one that he will use for the strikeouts. In the curveball, the last time out, he only threw 7 curveballs in that last start against the Boston Red Sox.
Dustin Pedroia back at second base, batting third in the lineup. Pedroia was away from the ball club. He missed the last 2 games due to the birth of his son. Changeup was popped up. Boy says Sierra. In right field, makes the catch. 8 pitches for Carlos Villanueva, and he sets the Red Sox down in order. Edwin Encarnacion here on Thursday night against Felix Hernandez goes his 40th home run of the season, the 8th Blue Jay to do that. Position really missed a big hit in that game last night. Rajay Davis continues to lead off. Brett Laurie drops into the second spot. Edwin Encarnacion back in his normal position, batting third in this lineup, and he has really enjoyed hitting against the Red Sox this season. 15 RBIs against Boston. That's the most for Encarnacion against any team this season. Lynn Escobar Johnson, middle 3 in the order. Then Toriyama, Sierra, and Anthony Gose.
Clay Buchholz takes the mound this afternoon for the Red Sox, carrying that 11-6 record. Looking to snap a personal 3-game losing streak. Came within 1 out of throwing a complete game last time out against the Blue Jays. He threw 121 pitches in that ball game. But they had an off day on Monday. He was able to get that extra day of rest. And I went back and looked, and he threw 125 pitches earlier this year in June and followed that one up 5 days later by throwing 7 innings. So it'll be interesting to watch him this afternoon.
Jumps ahead of Davis with the first pitch strike. 245 on the season for the Blue Jays left fielder. Ball is popped out of play. We mentioned Clay Buchholz. In this ballpark, he has really pitched well. He's got a 6-2 career record here at Rogers Center, and he's won his last 6 decisions. 6 straight wins here at Rogers Center. He must feel comfortable on this mound.
Yeah, some of his best starts have been right here. Curveball really plays.
Off-speed pitch is hit into center field. Ellsbury is there. 1 down. The Boston Red Sox have committed 89 errors this season, and defense has been inconsistent because they've had to use so many players. Nava, Ellsbury, and Ross in the outfield. Michael Felix has done a terrific job at shortstop. This is 121st start. Pedroia is back at second. Siri Alcoloni at the corners. And Jared Saltalamacchia making his 88th start behind the plate.
Well, here's one guy who can help. Former Gold Glove winner back into the lineup. Not here yesterday. Flew into Boston. He's a good one. Second base.
Brett Glory hit third in the lineup last night. He had a 2-hit night, including a big clutch double in the 8th inning. Tied the game up at 5-all with a double down the left field line. Pops this one over the Red Sox dugout. Laurie had an interesting night last night. Got an infield base hit his first time up, then was out at second base trying to advance on the overthrow at first. Then he tied the game up with the RBI double in the 8th. Chases that high fastball and he strikes out. 2 down.
Take a look at the scouting report for Clay Buchholz. He's a good one. Fastball, he throws it 44% of the time, and it's 93, 94, 95 miles an hour when he throws hard. He's got a lot of above-average pitches. The cutter, I think, is an above-average pitch. His curveball, his changeup, and his splitter. Lots of pitches that he can choose from and he can go to in strikeout situations.
Edwin Encarnacion, we mentioned his 40th home run that came Thursday night against Felix Hernandez. Encarnacion is second to Josh Hamilton in home runs. He has 40. Hamilton is 2 ahead. He's 4th in RBIs, 8th in total bases. He's had a terrific offensive season, and he's played great at first base.
Yeah, probably the most consistent player the Blue Jays have had offensively all year.
Josh Hamilton's been on fire lately. Another home run last night to expand his lead to 2 over Encarnacion. Adam Dunn has been hampered by that oblique strain. He hasn't been swinging it well. Granderson with 38 and Miguel Cabrera. He is always in that conversation when you talk AL home run leaders.
And
off the plate.
And MVP players also.
Now, certainly Hamilton and Cabrera are going to be in that conversation. How about a little Derek Jeter? 197 hits for the Yankees this year.
I can make a case for him.
3-1 to Encarnacion. Buchholz will walk Encarnacion. That's the 75th walk of the season for Edwin. People just don't want to challenge him when he's got the count in his favor.
That's the same script that we saw the Red Sox use back at Fenway Park when we were just there. They get the first couple of outs in the first inning. Encarnacion comes up. First inning, nobody on, and they pitch very carefully to him, and they end up walking him.
So Adam Lind will step in, and Lind has had success against Clay Buchholz. He's hit a couple of home runs against Buchholz. 10 for 33 in his career. First pitch strike. Buchholz has pitched well on the road since the start of the 2009 season. He's got a 24-10 record away from Fenway Park. Done a good job of minimizing the impact of the homers on the road this year. He's allowed just 8 home runs on the road. Sharply hit past Loney. That's a fair ball. Encarnacion is around second. He's headed to third. Lind will go to second base with a double. Adam Lind, his 12th double of the season, continues to hit the ball hard against Clay Buchholz.
Starting to heat up. Lind, 303 with a pair of home runs in his career against Clay Buchholz. Last night he had a triple. He also had a double, and he was robbed of another extra base hit by that play by Nava. This time he gets it just underneath the glove of Loney at first base and comes away with a double.
So Yunel Escobar, with 2 on and 2 outs, has a chance to put the Blue Jays out in front early. Escobar did not play in that game last Sunday with Buchholz on the mound at Fenway. Fastball just touches the outside corner. Good numbers against the Red Sox this season. A couple of doubles, pair of home runs, and a .333 average. Base hit to right field. Encarnacion is hit. Here comes Lynn to the plate. The throw, and Saltalamacchia will tag out Lynn. But Escobar with an RBI single to right knocks it Edwin Encarnacion, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead over Clay Buchholz. Strong throw from Cody Ross ends the inning. On sale. If you purchase your 2013 Blue Jays season tickets by December 7th, 2012, you will receive a $100 Blue Jays gift card, a Blue Jays Authentic Collection Premier Jacket, a limited edition Jose Bautista bobblehead doll. For your tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com. Just around the corner, 2013 season tickets. Cody Ross with that strong throw to the plate. Ross's 6th assist of the season. He threw a strike, and Adam Lind was out by 15 feet. Ross's outfield assist was his 8th of the season.
Well, this
Here's
one's
the look.
right at him. It's an easy play for him. He takes a couple of steps in, and you can see that they're sending him, and it's got to be a good throw. And it is, and in plenty of time to get Adam Lind at the plate.
Way outside, it's 2 balls and a strike to Cody Ross. Brad Butterfield just forcing the hand of Ross. Lind was out easily at the plate, but just take a shot from time to time and force the defense to make a good play, and Ross did.
Maybe you short hop the catcher, maybe you airmail him.
There's a drive to left field, and this ball is hit a ton and out of here. How about that? Cody Ross saves a run with his arm and gets a run with his bat. For Ross, that's his 21st home run of the season.
Two and one fastball, and he's sitting all over that one. And with a nice short swing. You hear Bobby Valentine say he's playing defense, and now he's hitting home runs. He's got everything right here. And he'll put a charge into this fastball.
He's been a nice addition to this ball club. And he's a free agent at the end of the year, as is James Loney, the first baseman.
Watch where this pitch is. They wanted it down and away, and it was end up in the middle, about belt high. Home runs were the problem last time. The Red Sox were the opposition for Villanueva. Home run by Ellsbury and Pedroia. accounting for all the runs.
Ellsbury's home run was a 2-run home run in the second, and Pedroia hit a solo shot in the sixth. There's a fly ball to right. Sierra comes in a couple of steps. Loney is retired. That's the first down of the inning. Carlos Villanueva in Boston after the 2-run home run by Ellsbury. He settled down and had a very good outing. Pitched deep into the ball game, went 6 innings, allowed 7 hits. He's been bothered by flu. He has really not been as strong as he would like the last couple of starts. A little better last time out, and certainly today you would expect that he'd be stronger.
Yeah, zapped a little bit of his strength, and he was pitching a couple of outings ago, pitching deep into the game and pitching well. Thought he'd keep going, and they ended up taking him out because he wasn't feeling that well. But he's got all the pitches. Today it looks like he's going to use that curveball a little bit more, maybe that slider.
Jared Saltalamacchia hits one into right field, but Gloria's there. 2 down. So Ryan Lavarnway was the catcher last night. He had a big night. He drove in 4 runs, and this was a 3-run home run in the fourth that tied the game at 3-all.
You know what hurt about that one, on top of the ball going out of the ballpark, of course, but the Blue Jays had just scored 3 runs. And it looked like the momentum was on their side, and Lavarnway's hit really zapped him of that strength. Tied the score up with 1 swing of the bat. A walk, a single, and then the home run.
See his numbers at AAA Pawtucket. He had 295 and had 8 home runs. If you were going to compare his AAA numbers to the Blue Jays' AAA numbers, it's not a fair comparison. The PCL is a dramatic hitters league. The International League, where Pawtucket is a lot more pitcher friendly.
I think you get a better read.
Bob Davison calls Lavarnway for a swing, and Lavarnway said, man, you need to check with the first base umpire. Davison said, nope, saw it all the way. But the Red Sox get a run back. They tied it up. We're in a 1-1 game. Toronto hits a home run, you can win big. Audio home theater systems and big TVs like an 80-inch Sharp Aquos Quadra. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Carlos Villanueva gave up a leadoff home run to Cody Ross, and he was about ready to go downstairs into the clubhouse, and then his catcher hollered at him, and they started talking over that lost Cody Ross at bat.
He's saying, it's all right, you know, stay with me right here. He missed his spot. He knows it.
Kelly Johnson goes after the first pitch and fouls it into the glove. Johnson's 0 for 5 in his career against Buchholz. Why is Buchholz a challenge for these Blue Jay hitters, and they've not had a lot of success against him?
Well, you can see on that scouting report that we have on Clay Buchholz how many pitches he has. And about it, he's got above average pitches, curveball, changeup, splitter. His fastball is above average. When he is working and getting all of those pitches over for strikes, that's why it's been so tough on Blue Jay hitters. He seems to come up with some good ones here at Rogers Center.
Last year, he made just 14 starts. He had a stress fracture in his lumbar spine. And he's had some physical problems, but boy, when he's healthy, he's pretty good. He is a former supplemental draft pick in 2005, 42nd player picked overall by Boston in that 2005 draft. Had a terrific season in 2010. He had a .233 earned run average and a 17-7 record.
Young guy who came up through a no-hitter and then really had to find his way really in the big leagues. It took him a couple years to figure it out. He had to go back down to the minor leagues. Confidence at times was an issue with him.
Sounds like you just talked about Roy Halladay. He took a no-hitter into the 9th inning of his first start here at Rogers Center, and then took him a while to find himself, much like Clay Buchholz. Just off the inside corner. Buchholz thought he got that ball back over the corner, but walks Kelly Johnson, the leadoff walk. We talk about Clay Buchholz pitching in this ballpark. The opponent's ERA since 2009 here at Rogers Center, and Buchholz is the leader of the pack in 6 starts.
How about that? A 127 earned run average. He's had low hit games here at Rogers Center. He's had complete games pitched here. Remember, he made a start a couple of years ago. They brought him up for the minor leagues to make a spot start and was outstanding against the Blue Jays, and that really started him on his way back to the big leagues.
John Lester will go to the mound tomorrow for the Red Sox. He'll be opposed by Brandon Morrow in that season series finale between these two clubs. Yorvit Torrealba, the catcher, fouls it off.
You know, the thing about young pitching is you'll get those guys who come to the big leagues and they burst onto the scene and they're outstanding and they're good for their whole career. But the majority of them, they come up here and they earn their way to the big leagues, but it takes them a time or a while to figure it out and get their feet firmly on the ground at the big league level. There's always that learning curve for young pitchers.
So it's popped up behind home plate. Saltalamacchia will run out of room. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Obviously, when you work your way through the minors, you're having success and you can dominate minor league hitters. Then you might come to the big leagues and catch the big league hitters a little off guard. Get by for a while. But boy, the information then starts to gather. Ricky Romero is another great example of that. How the league will catch up to you. And it's a constant battle of adjustments between pitcher and batter.
And that usually takes about 4 years. If you've got a track record of 4 years, I think that's pretty much what you're going to get from a guy, and it takes that long.
Here's another pop-up on an off-speed pitch. James Loney, the first baseman, makes the grab. That's 1 out. When you talk about putting together a winning season, you can start and end with pitching. And when you look at the team ERA in the American League, Tampa Bay, Oakland 1-2. And naturally, Tampa Bay's 3 games out of the lead in the East. Oakland's 3 games out of the lead in the AL West. But then there you have the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays, 11th and 12th, and their records reflect that.
It all starts on that mound, doesn't it? Tampa Bay with 78 wins this year, Oakland with 83. And for both of those teams, they might be a little short offensively, but pitching and defense are going to win you a lot of games.
Now, there's a key phrase in baseball that always leads to success, and it's run prevention, whether it's from the mound or defensively. Run prevention will keep you in ball games. Moises Sierra, the right fielder. His first look at Clay Buchholz. It's a 1-1 game. Yunel Escobar drove in the Blue Jays run. Cody Ross, a solo home run, drove in the Sox run. Sierra got off to a good start to his big league career, but his average now down to 238 as the pitchers have picked up on some weaknesses and they've exploited those. I think he's seen a lot more fastballs here in the last few weeks.
Starting to jam them late in the count. They might throw some soft stuff early or some fastballs out of the count, and then when they need to go somewhere, they've been pounding him inside. We've seen a lot of balls hit the right field where he just doesn't get the bat head out.
There goes Johnson. The hit and runs on. This is going to get down in front of Ellsbury. Johnson goes to third. Sierra with a big turn. He'll stop at first. Perfect execution of the hit and run.
That is what the Blue Jays used against Buchholz to beat him back at Fenway Park. That one inning for Buchholz, there were two instances where the Blue Jays had the hit and run on and they worked it to perfection. They do it again. This time Sierra stays inside the ball, cuts his swing down just a little bit, and is able to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. Hit and run is on. Johnson makes sure that that ball is down and he can make it to third base very easily.
Blue Jays scored 3 runs in the 4th inning last Sunday against Buchholz, and they had the hit and run on twice in that inning. Anthony Gose at the plate, runners at the corners, 1 out.
You know, they also had a short fly ball that Gose was able to score on to left field. I mean, all the little things that you need to win tight ball games, they did in that 1 inning.
In that 1 inning, John Farrell also put on the fake break at first base with Anthony Gose running. Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman, bought it hook, line, and sinker. Broke to cover second base. Mathis dribbled the ball through the right side for a base hit. Goes with that bunt approach and pulls the bat back. Blue Jays can do a lot of things in this situation. Can start the runner at first. They can play safety squeeze. Anthony Gose has had a good run over his last 8 games, hitting nearly .350. Pulls the bat back. It's 2-0.
If they have the safety squeeze on, which it looked like they were doing right there, Kelly Johnson's going to have to come back down the line with the third baseman. Siriaco is the third baseman. He's very fast. If the pitch is away and the ball is bunted to the third baseman, he's got to get in front of that third baseman.
Gose takes it inside. Let's go back to last Sunday with Anthony Gose at first base and Jeff Mathis at the plate.
You fake a break like that, obviously how he stopped, and that's where Dustin Pedroia, you see the second baseman, he couldn't start, stop, and then start up again to retrieve that ball. Gose made it all the way to third and scored on a very short sacrifice fly to left field.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Now the wheels are really spinning. 3-1 count. You can start the runner at first. You can create some movement on the infield. Maybe get Gose an opening on the infield.
Yeah, if you feel secure enough that he's going to make contact and get the ball on the ground for you.
3-1 pitch. Not going. Inside corner. It's a full count. Kelly Johnson walked to start the inning. He is at third base. Moises Sierra single into center. Goes at the plate, and top of the order, Rajay Davis on deck.
Make sure that Buchholz goes home now. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
There goes Sierra. Ball is lined to left field. Nava makes the catch. Kelly Johnson will have to stop as that ball was lined right to Daniel Nava. Sierra was moving on the pitch. The left fielder was positioned perfectly. Ghost hit it hard, but right at the left fielder.
And he was coming home. We saw his arm last night. He almost doubled up Brett Laurie at second base, so you can't send him here. He would have been out at the plate. That would have been 2 straight innings, so you got to hold him up. But you're right, Sierra was taken off. He had to scramble back to first base also. And now it'll take a 2-out hit by Rajay Davis.
Clay Buchholz, as Pat mentioned earlier, threw 121 pitches in his last start. Just wonder what kind of impact that might have on him here today.
You know, I look back and he threw 125 pitches on a game and then came back and had his highest strikeout game in his next start.
Rajay Davis high and deep to left. Nava back at the track, makes the catch. Daniel Nava's putting on a show in left the last couple of nights. Right there, he pulls one off the wall and takes extra bases away from Rajay Davis. The Blue Jays have a great opportunity, but strand a pair. 1-1 after 2. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests from the Kids Up Front organization. Kids Up Front is the charitable organization that provides access to arts, culture, sports, and recreation for children who otherwise do not have the opportunity. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Mike Aviles, the shortstop, didn't like that first call by Bob Davidson and told him so. Aviles batting 8th this afternoon. Goes after this pitch and drives it to right. Moises Sierra is there, 1 down.
Moises probably the happiest guy on the field this afternoon that it's overcast.
He's had his problems here in day games with that bright sun high above Rogers Center. It is cloud cover up there and easy to pick the baseball against that backdrop.
That's 4 fly balls to him already here in this game.
This is a tough ballpark when that sun is bright, late in the season especially. Number 9 hitter is Pedro Siriaco. Takes one upstairs. Siriaco's had an interesting season for the Red Sox, batting .299. Probably didn't plan on having this much of an impact with the Red Sox this season, but given all the injuries, Siriaco has played now in 60 games, and he has 197 at bats. But you can see over the last 17 games, he's starting to wear down a little bit physically.
10 for 61, 11 strikeouts.
Jumps on this pitch and hits it hard, but foul.
Remember that first game when he came up Fenway Park against the Yankees? Nationally televised game. I believe he had 4 hits.
Now he's an interesting guy. He started out with the Pirates, and Pittsburgh let him go. Boston jumped all over him, probably thinking that he would be a good stabilizing force in the minor leagues. He pops this one up. Yunel Escobar makes the catch in front of Kelly Johnson.
Taylor is all ready to make that catch and then backed off. Watch Kelly. Shortstop calls you off, you got to give way to him. He's got pop-up priority in the infield. Johnson over, is ready to reach up and then gives way.
So 2 down. Back to the top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury, the center fielder. First pitch strike. Fly ball left field. Rajay Davis takes a couple of steps back, now over toward the line, and Carlos Villanueva has a quick inning. Just 8 pitches. Brett Laurie will start things off. Edwin Encarnacion walked and scored already, and Lind with a double. Bottom of the 3rd inning, and as we mentioned, Laurie had an interesting night last night. He had a big clutch hit in the 8th inning, but he made some base running mistakes. And here, on a ball hit in front of him, he goes to 3rd base, and that's a bad play. Yeah. He's in scoring position already. 1 out, and you run right into an out and take yourself out of scoring position. And there's just no way you can justify it. It's just not a good play.
Yeah, there's no reason to move up. You're already there. Plus, you're in a tight game. You're in the middle of the batting order. The guys who are paid to drive you in. You're not going to make that play. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to make that. This is major leagues. So you just stay right there. You stay in scoring position. Maybe the next guy gets a base hit, and then you can charge home with the game winner.
It's off the end of the bat. Ball on the strike. John Farrell. He just talked to Brett Laurie about it, and certainly you love Brett's enthusiasm, you love his athleticism and all that, but you have to play with your head as well as your talents. And there are certain times where he's running some outs and just bad judgment. Out in front of this pitch and pops it into center field. Ellsbury calls off the shortstop. The outfielder came from center field to make the play. Run down. Brett Lawrie got on the disabled list on August 3rd, and he missed a lot of time. And it's very difficult for hitters to miss significant time, but especially in the latter stages of a season when the pitchers are really into their form. And now you can see both Lawrie and Aaron Sebe come out DL have struggled.
And you shut it down. I mean, literally shut down baseball activities for a couple of weeks and then have to restart it. That's why they have that minor league rehab. Unfortunately for those two, the season in the minor leagues were just about over. They got to play in a couple of A-ball games, which isn't the same. You know, that's why they have those 7-week minor league rehab deals where you can go down there, get your timing back. That's still not enough, but it's a lot better than 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that rehab time? The Players Association, they negotiated for that. They negotiated so players would have an opportunity to work on their skills without it having an impact on their major league record. So they would go down and say, okay, you can play for 20 days down in the minors, and it will not impact you. It will give you enough at-bats to come back. But year in and year out, you see players resist those 20 games thinking that, well, I can be doing this in the big leagues. Well, no, you can't. You need time to remove the rust when you've been out for a long time.
Especially when you shut down all baseball activity. Those types of injuries, they just couldn't swing a bat. They couldn't throw. They couldn't do those types of things day in and day out where it takes to train your body to get back into shape.
And I'll tell you what, I thought the same thing when I was young. I missed most of the season in 1970. I was in the Army doing basic training in AIT. General manager came back to me, Cedric Tallis, and said, well, when you get out in August, we'd like you to go to the California League in San Jose. I said, oh, no, I've been playing baseball in the Army.
Oh, yeah.
I can come right back up to the big leagues. And for some reason, they let me do it, and it was a mess. I came up in August and finished up the season, and I was so overmatched, it was ridiculous.
And did the self-doubt start?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, wow, can I do this anymore?
Well, the fortunate thing was that there wasn't much season left, and I went to winter ball that year and got everything back over the course of 4 months in winter ball. So Encarnacion will take his second walk of the afternoon. Now Adam Lynn. Lynn swinging a hot bat. Had a double in his first at bat. Looks at one downstairs. Lindy had a double and a triple in last night's game and was robbed by Daniel Nava in the 8th, making a bid for a 3-hit game.
And chances are probably a 3-hit extra base day. Ball looked like it would double all the way.
Shatters that bat, and boy, there's another one of those bats helicoptering all the way past the first base coach. And of course, that's what happened 2 nights ago with Bruce Walton, the pitching coach. He was hit by a barrel of a bat much like that in the dugout. And John Farrell was very outspoken in his concern about safety for players and coaches, and even umpires. Obviously, they're on the field as well.
Fans, everybody. This happened to Adam Lynn yesterday right around the batting cage, where a ball on the inside part of the plate, he tried to pull his hands in, and all he was left was with the handle. And that is frightening.
And those are maple bats, and they have used the maple bat. It's a little bit lighter, but it's much more brittle. When it breaks, it shatters.
Yeah, no more of the chipping like you used to get with those ash bats. And when they would break, they'd stay together.
Well, the white ash bat is traditionally a harder wood, but there was a shortage of white ash wood available, and they started experimenting. They went to hickory bats, and that proved to be too heavy. The maple bat is heavy, but they dry it out to get to the proper weight, and when you dry it out, it becomes very brittle. Fastball, and Lind is down on strikes. Buchholz delivers that fastball right on the inside corner. 2 down.
Determined to keep that ball in the inner half that time, so he can extend his arms.
So Yunel Escobar, he's driven in the Blue Jays run this afternoon. Had a single to right field to score Edwin Encarnacion. It's a 1-1 game. Escobar's been swinging a hot bat. Over his last couple of weeks, he's hit nearly 300. Average up to 252. John Farrell believes that he could be a key guy in this lineup, batting 5th or 6th. A guy that could hit a bunch of doubles. He has 20 doubles. You'd like to see that number up at around 30, 32, yeah. 34.
35 doesn't strike out a lot. That's number one. I'd also like to get a guy who hits better with runners in scoring position where they can pick up those big runs right in that 5th, 6th, 7th slot in the batting order. And he asked, well, why do you need a guy hitting 6 who has a good run-producing bat, hits well with runners in scoring position? You're going to pitch around your 3, 4, and 5 guys, or they're going to be strikeout types of guys who are prone to strike out. I would want that guy in that 6 hole, that if my main guys don't drive him in, I've got a guy who's going to make contact and drive in that big run with 2 out.
Breaking ball is down and away. Now, obviously, when you look at the doubles leaders in the American League, Alex Gordon of Kansas City has 47. Pujols has 42. Kinsler with 40. And Cano and Chu 39 and 37 respectively. But boy, you have a team that hits a lot of doubles, they're going to score a lot of runs.
Oh, you're always in scoring position. Get a double, the next guy, all he has to do is get the ball to the outfield for a hit.
Boston has hit 314 doubles. That's the most in the majors. And just think about a pitcher's mindset. Every time he looks back at second, there's a runner in scoring position. Escobar stays alive, making Buckles work in this at bat.
Usually guys that have a lot of doubles, they're good hitters. Their averages are up pretty high, and they have an idea about hitting. They're using the whole field, and they can drive the ball into the gaps. They don't have too many holes in their swing.
Another 2-2 pitch to Escobar. Little looper into center field. Ellsbury over quickly, makes the running catch. The inning is over. Blue Jays get a man on, but leave him stranded. We've played 3 innings at Rogers Center. It's a 1-1 game. Winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and an Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp. Big is too small a word for it. Well, these 2 starting pitchers, they had a game like this last Sunday at Fenway Park, back and forth. It was a 4-3 game into the 9th inning. Blue Jays won that one. Excuse me, a 3-3 game into the 9th inning and finished up 4-3. Play Buchholz and Carlos Villanueva. Buchholz, a run on 3 hits. Villanueva was only allowed 1 hit, but that was a solo home run. Daniel Nava, the left fielder, takes the first pitch fastball. Another good fastball and had a little tail on it. Catches the inside corner.
He has been using his fastball, I think, with regularity over his last few starts. He's really establishing that he can use that 4-seam fastball. Doubled up with the changeups. You can see Adam Lynn thinking that Nava's going to hook the ball, pull it down the right field line. He is right on that line.
Three-pitch strikeout, 3 fastballs, and Nava is retired. Dustin Pedroia back in the lineup after missing a couple of games, and the Red Sox are pleased he's back. Since the 23rd of August, he's the hottest hitter in the American League, a .405 average, and Adrian Beltre, he has been on fire. Jamie Carroll's having a nice little finish to his season. Torrey Hunter has been the hot batter in the Angels lineup, and Billy Butler, boy, he just keeps plugging along, and nobody says a word about Billy Butler.
Yeah, and then you look up at the end of the year, and he's got his 20 home runs. He's got his 100 RBIs. He's hitting 300. Probably doesn't have a whole lot of infield hits either.
No, Billy Butler is hitting .311 for the season. That's 7th in the American League. Now, Dustin Pedroia, he's been Rookie of the Year. He's been MVP. And he is certainly the heartbeat of this Red Sox team.
Power also over his last 5 games, 3 home runs.
Gets underneath this pitch and flies it high into center field. Ghost is there. 2 down. So now Villanueva will have to deal with Cody Ross. Ross homered against Carlos in his first at bat. Cody Ross is now 5 for 7 against Villanueva.
They tried to go fastball away. You can see down and away, and it leaped out over the middle of the plate. And Carlos knows where that one's probably going to end up, over the wall for a home run, and that's why we are tied at 1-1.
You see Torrealba going down on a knee to accentuate that low target. I mentioned Torrealba. He's the most experienced of the 3 Blue Jays catchers. He's catching in his 726th start here this afternoon. 2-0. Torrealba, the most starts he ever had in the season was in 2007. He started 105 games for the Rockies.
The Rockies. Didn't they go to the playoffs that year?
Yeah, he's been behind the plate a couple of different times. He was with the Rangers last year, made 95 starts for the Rangers last year. He can catch.
Yeah.
And we saw already this afternoon his leadership skills behind the plate. He talked to Villanueva after that 2nd inning home run.
Well, you watch him all game long. You could do a whole game just watching Torrealba behind the plate. The kind of things he does to help his starting pitcher.
Villanueva got away with one there, the high breaking ball. 2-2.
That's the slow curveball. He says when you watch up on that scoreboard and you see that in the 70s, maybe even the low 80s, that's my curveball. Took a little something off of that one.
Going down and away with the fastball here. And missed upstairs. Always enjoy that in a post-game interview. A pitcher will always say, you can see Villanueva shaking his head saying, man, I can't throw that ball up there again. But they'll say, well, I only made a couple of mistakes today. Well, you only made a couple of mistakes that got hit. Look at, throw it down in the dirt. and he missed. But Villanueva knows that you don't want to butt heads with Cody Ross. As we mentioned, Ross is 5 for 7 against Carlos.
You can't run from him either. I think if you concentrate on setting them up and executing your pitches, you should be fine.
Oh, that was a pretty good pitch. Villanueva thought he made a good pitch with the changeup. Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, didn't like it. Toriyama did a nice job of receiving the baseball.
They did a great job of setting him up for that pitch right there. The changeup. Villanueva thinks he has it. Here it is from the side, and it looks like it's high enough.
Plenty high enough for sure.
And
it's over the plate. All that being said, it's a 2-out walk. James Loney. Villanueva right back in there with a strike. There's a base hit up the middle. Cody Ross is rounding second. He will go to third. Here's the throw. It's cut off. As Ross goes first to third on a 2-out single by James Loney.
Momentum taking Anthony Gose away from this ball. It's a curveball. Loney hits it back through the middle. Still thought he had a chance if he could have rounded into the ball and got his momentum going towards third and then make a little bit better throw. But Ross gets all the way to third base.
Cody Ross with a 2-out walk. Loney with a 2-out single. First and third for the catcher, Jared Saltalamacchia. Saltalamacchia with 24 home runs this season. Off the end of the bat, Gose got a late break, and that's going to drop in front of him. Ross will jog home, and the Red Sox have taken the lead. That ball was hit off the end of the bat, and that often happens when you've got a power hitter at the plate. He hits it off the end of the bat. The outfielder's first reaction is to break back.
Yeah, break back, and then just didn't get a good read on that ball. It's a tough one. Right off the end of the bat by Saltalamacchia. You see Villanueva saying that ball, you got to come in on it. And then once Gose figures out that he's not going to make the catch, he's got to lay back on it. So Saltalamacchia picks up the second run and the third hit for the Red Sox.
Red Sox have scored a run here in the fourth after 2 were out. Saltalamacchia, his 55th RBI of the season. Ryan LaVarnway struck out on a check swing to end the second. Ball and strike. New career high in innings pitched for Carlos Villanueva. He's also established a new high for starts,
strikeouts, innings pitched, and if he can win today, wins.
Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, throws out the Barnway. The inning is over, but Boston scores a run on 2 hits, and they leave a pair. 2-1 Red Sox, middle of the fourth. So Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys head into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. As well, the Jets are in Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. The NFL on Sportsnet and City TV tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Mark Sanchez didn't have much of a exhibition season for the Jets before he turned it on once the regular season started. Everybody in Pittsburgh and go up against Ben Roethlisberger.
Everyone in New York was whining about the Jets offense. Well, there it is. Took it right to the Bills.
I think that's got to be the toughest thing in sports, to play exhibition football. You're worried about your health. You're worried about staying healthy, getting ready for the season, and you're still trying to get in shape.
And everything is vanilla. The offenses and the defense. They don't want to show anything to the other team.
Kelly Johnson takes a curveball in the dirt.
At least we don't have to broadcast football.
That would be a challenge.
Football, that would stink. Wow, brutal.
I've watched some of those announcers get their game card ready for football games with the depth charts and all of that stuff. Man, you talk about a challenge.
It's like spring training baseball.
Yeah. And here's a left-handed hitter.
I remember one day we were doing a Yankee game in spring training, and they had 2 number 60s.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
And they both happen to be right-handed hitters and right-handed throwers.
Yeah. Well, I think it's this guy, but it could be this guy.
1-2 to Kelly Johnson. Goes after a low pitch, and Buchholz gets off the mound quickly. Johnson's retired, 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jason Birkin picked up from the Orioles on waivers. He's up against Wandy Rodriguez for the Pirates. Travis Snyder is in right field. He's 0 for 2 so far in that ball game. Pittsburgh has fallen on hard times. They've lost 7 in a row and lost 8 of their last 10. Just a game over 500 at 72 and 71. But they're still within striking distance of that National League wild card. They're 3 back.
Just 2 games over 500 now. The Pittsburgh Pirates. Same thing happened to them last year when they went 18 and 38.
Ball on a strike, 1 out. Clay Buchholz with a 1-run lead.
Check that. I gave them 1 too many wins. They are just 1 game over 500 now, the Pirates.
Yorvit Torrealba popped up to James Loney, the first baseman. Sharply hit, but right at the shortstop. Aviles throws out Torrealba, 2 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon in Toronto. The Boston Red Sox, their last trip of the season and last series against the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have a season advantage. They've won 10 of the 16 games so far against Boston. Swing on a breaking ball here with a 1-1 count.
Here is a guy that the Blue Jays, he just appeared on the radar the last couple of seasons. starting to figure it out in the minor leagues, both offensively and defensively. He was in big league camp, not this past spring training, but last year's spring training for the first time when they put him on the 40-man roster. They had him at third base. He was taking ground balls at third base, and so this guy's not a third baseman. This guy looks like an outfielder.
2-1. There's a strike. Sierra will turn 24 later on this month. He's been in the Blue Jays system since 2006. He started out his professional career playing in the Dominican Summer League in 2006. Then he went to the Gulf Coast League, the Midwest League, Florida State League. He's just progressed one rung at a time through the minor leagues. There's a flat breaking ball as Buchholz has a quick inning. He retires the Blue Jays in order in the fourth. We'll go to the fifth. 2-1 Red Sox. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Blue Jays and the Yankees will hook up. The game starts at 1:07. Those special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. For tickets to Junior Jays Saturday, call Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets online, or you can always stop by most Rogers Plus locations and pick up your tickets for final Junior Jays Saturday of the 2012 season. Always a popular afternoon here at Rogers Center. Lots of kids on hand. He's got his eye black on. He is ready to go, waiting for a pop-up. Shortstop Michael Belis will lead things off. Takes a breaking ball upstairs.
Belis has had a good year. Would you take this from your shortstop? 41 extra base hits, 60 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases?
Yes.
So would I. And I think that was a shrewd trade where they got him from the Royals.
Yeah, got him from Kansas City at the end of last season, and I think everybody kind of discounted it and said, well, he's a nice backup player, but he's been a very steady force at shortstop.
Batting average at 250, but a on-base percentage under 300, so I'm sure they'd like to see that go up just a little bit. But anytime you have a middle infielder with over 40 extra base hits and 60 RBIs and some speed, I think you got to take it.
We were just talking about Gordon Beckham of the Chicago White Sox. He's got 57 ribbies, and he kind of came on late in the season, but they've always felt like he was going to be an offensive force in the middle of the diamond. 3-1. Aviles goes after a high pitch and hits a high pop. Escobar, the shortstop. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Well, you see the White Sox a game over the Tigers in the AL Central. And the Tigers and White Sox are going to battle tooth and nail right down the stretch. Mariano pitching a good game against his former team. And later on, it'll be Anibal Sanchez against Justin Masterson, as they are in Cleveland. The Tigers and the Indians hooking up last night behind Justin Verlander. Tigers shut out Cleveland 4-0. High fly ball to left field. Should be an easy play for Rajay Davis. Siriaco is retired. 2 down. Jacoby Ellsbury batting in the leadoff spot. Ellsbury hit second in last night's game. Now with Pedroia back in the third spot, Ellsbury moves up to that leadoff spot.
Yeah, he just missed so much time this year with a shoulder injury. And when you have those types of shoulder injuries, he separated his shoulder, you can't do anything baseball-wise. You can't swing, you can't throw, you can't do sit-ups, you can't do anything. Maybe run a little bit, and it shows.
Another fly ball into center. Anthony Gose now comes in, and Carlos Villanueva, an easy inning, retires the Red Sox in order on just 8 pitches. Middle of the 5th, it's a 2-1 Red Sox lead. To play game 2 of their series, James Shields goes to the mound, a 14-8 record against Ivan Nova. How about the matchup they had last night in New York? CC Sabathia and David Price hooked up. That was the 8th time over the last 4 seasons those two left-handers matched up. David Price has a 5-1 record in those games. CC Sabathia 1-5. Bad news for the Yankees is that was the 6th time that CC Sabathia has coughed up a lead in his last 5 starts. And the Yankees, they are really hanging by a thread right now. Their starting pitching has been very shaky.
How about that? Sabathia, he never gives up leads with the Yankees. Just didn't have a usual zip on his fastball like we've seen in the past from Sabathia.
Now, we have noticed since he came off the disabled list that that bite on the breaking ball is missing. He doesn't have that good finish to his fastball. The innings might be catching up to him. Anthony Gose trying to get things started against Clay Buchholz. Gose hit the ball sharply his only time up. He lined out to the left fielder. He had a man at third base, first and third, when he hit that line drive, but it was too close, and Nava had a good throw to the plate. Kelly Johnson had to hold his ground at third.
Yeah, great opportunity for the Blue Jays to score a run, but Nava's glove did it again. Did it last night. That time he came in, got a good break, and made a strong throw to the plate where Johnson couldn't score. And then Rajay put him up against the wall in left field. And he took away extra base hits from Rajay Davis to end the inning.
Breaking ball missed downstairs. Clay Buchholz, we've mentioned his great run here at Rogers Center. He's won his last 6 starts. He's a career 6-2 in this ballpark. But he's won his last 6 games, 6 wins in a row. On the ground, Mike Aviles quickly, not in time, not quick enough. Boy, Anthony Gose, that speed is a weapon. He hit that ball on the ground right to the shortstop. Aviles unloaded in a hurry, knowing he had to rush, but Gose outran it.
You know, if he can do that, he can hit 280 just doing that, just slapping at the ball. Blue Jays don't want him to be a slap hitter, and I think there's more in there. But when you get the 2 strikes and a guy sinks a ball like that, why not just get it on the ground, use those legs? You're going to come up with so many infield hits and start so many rallies.
Well, and 2, what you'll do is you'll force the infield to come in and play halfway, and that will limit their lateral range as the game goes on, and that'll get Anthony Gose even more hits. So the Blue Jays got their speed merchants. One at first, one at the plate. Big lead at first by Gose, and he's going to get looked back.
You want to get a lead over there at first base where you've got a step and a dive. If you can get there, if it takes you with 1 foot on the AstroTurf or 1 foot on the dirt, but a step and a dive, and Gose does it really well. That's one part of his game that he's pretty good at. How he can dive back to the bag and get that outside corner. He had a great teacher.
Met with Maury Wills after he started. His agent set up a meeting with Wills in California before spring training when he was with the Phillies. And he talked to Maury Wills about what pitchers do, what to look for, some of the key points in a pitcher's set position, where to focus in on. His agent at the time was Dan Evans, who was at one time the GM of the Dodgers. He was a long-time assistant GM of the White Sox, and Danny Evans has been around baseball a long time. But he recognized the physical skills of Anthony Gose, and he thought he'd match him up with Maury Wills.
And how smart is that for a young player like that to be able to do that? He also, when he was with the Philadelphia Phillies organization, had a chance to work with Davey Lopes, who's one of the premier base-stealing coaches around baseball.
Rajay Davis squared around to bunt, and Buchholz bows the tower.
Pitchers do not like when you got this type of speed at the plate and on the bases.
It's such a distraction. You got to worry about the base runner at first, and then you think, oh, they're going to bunt. I think Buchholz may have done that intentionally. Rush that ball up and in, because if you do get a hitter to bunt at it, chances are he's going to pop it up.
Pop it up, that's right. And if they happen to put the steal on, it's a much easier catch and throw for your catcher.
Well, now John Farrell can take the bunt off, put the hit and run on, and see if they can't steal a base here. Maybe even go first to third on a hit and run. There goes Gose. Straight steal. Throw is wide of second. Anthony Gose, his 15th steal of the season.
He's only been thrown out 2 times in his young career. He is so explosive once he turns. He's got a step and a half, and he's at full blast. Really no chance for the Red Sox to get Gose at second base on that one.
15 for 17 in steals. Rajay Davis with a 2-0 count. Shows bunt and takes a breaking ball for a strike. On the ground to third, off the glove of Siriaco, and Ghost gets hung up, but Aviles dropped the ball. Mike Aviles had the right thought. He thought that Ghost would probably be hung up between second and third, and he was, but Aviles bobbled the ball.
I think just another instance what speed does to infielders. We got Siriaco, the third baseman, very close at third base. He's thinking as the ball comes to him, I got to be quick because Davis can run, Ghost can run. I got to look that runner back and then fire to first base. Once it went off of his glove, Aviles backs it up, and he had a shot. But he just cannot make the play, and all hands are safe.
It's in the air on the third baseman as Davis reaches on the air. Now it's first and second, and Laurie steps in. Laurie squares the bunt and bunts it up the first baseline. It's a good one. But Laurie will be tagged out as Buckles comes over and tags him out. The runners move up. Sacrificed perfectly by Brett Laurie.
And now this puts the decision-making on Bobby Valentine and the Boston Red Sox. Edwin Encarnacion has just raked over the Red Sox this year. He's driven in 15 runs. And he's walked 15 times.
Want to make it 16 now. They didn't hesitate. Didn't take Valentine long to figure out what he was going to do here. He got a base open. And they're not going to pitch to Encarnacion. So Edwin will be walked 3 times. Now you got to wonder if Laurie bunted on his own right there, because John Farrell was talking to Brett Laurie in a dugout. Adam Lind is on deck. And Lind has doubled already.
Yeah, you take the bat out of Encarnacion's hand, and I think they would have taken the bat out of his hand anyway. They're not going to pitch to him when there are runners, bases empty. Why are they going to pitch to him with runners on base?
So you just wonder, after looking at Farrell talking to Brett Laurie, if he didn't bunt on his own. But it's all a learning process. After Brett Laurie bunted the ball to the pitcher, and then John Farrell, they said, okay, that's not a bad idea, but there are more consequences. We've got one potent bat in the lineup, and that is Edwin Encarnacion.
If you take it a step further and you say, okay, go ahead, take the bat out of the hands of Encarnacion, the numbers for Lynn versus Buchholz are pretty good. So you still like your chances if you're the Blue Jays.
Hey, fans, keep watching. With the bases loaded, we're a grand slam away from awarding an 80-inch Sharp Quatron Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Just off the outside corner. 3 grand slams in his career for Adam Lind. Blue Jays have hit 2 grand slams this season. Edwin Encarnacion and Colby Rasmus. Blue Jays are down by a run. Well, now you want to unbutton your jersey, loosen up your back, and take a cut.
But be under control, right? You want to pick out a pitch. And in the first 2 pitches, it looks like Adam Lind knows what he wants to hit against Clay Buchholz. He has picked out a pitch. He's had plenty of at-bats against him. He knows what he wants.
2-0. Good cut. Fouled it back to the screen.
Look for a pitch in a certain area, and then don't try and cream it. Just try and hit it hard. You start trying to hit it far, what happens to your swing?
Gets long.
It gets long, and that's when you pop the ball up, or you Pitcher misses up, pulls a string on you, and you end up hitting the ball on the ground, but just try and hit it hard somewhere.
2 balls and a strike. The bases are loaded. Fly ball into center. Ellsbury in quickly. Ghost is tagging. Here's the throw to the plate. It's offline, and Ghost comes in to score, and the runners are going to move up. The ball got away from Saltalamacchia, and the base runners with their heads up take advantage and move up 90 feet. Ghost speed once again important as he scores on a shallow fly ball to center.
He can score on a shallow fly ball. Same thing happened when the Blue Jays were facing Buchholz back in Boston. To left field, he is able to score a run. This time, this one not very far. Ellsbury's got a beat on it. His momentum is coming home, and he lets it go. Not a good throw as it bounces away from Saltalamacchia, but that guy and Rajay Davis, the only guys who will be able to score on this ball club.
Ghost scored the decisive run in Boston last Sunday on a shallow fly ball to left. Sac fly for Adam Lynn. Yunel Escobar. Ellsbury's charged with the air that allowed the 2 base runners to move up. Davis at third, Encarnacion at second. Ellsbury's second error of the season. Two and 0. Well, Lynn had his cage rattled a couple of times today when they pitched around Encarnacion in the first, and then again here in the fifth, and he picks up the sac fly. But you can't blame strategy of Bobby Valentine. No. I mean, that's what you do. You got a guy that's got 40 home runs and a base open. You're not pitching to him.
And a guy who has absolutely worn out the Red Sox this year. Encarnacion 326, 15 RBIs this season against the Red Sox. And it's just his 16th game.
Ground ball. Second base, Pedroia throws out Escobar. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays score a run on a hit and air sacrifice fly. They strand 2. We played 5. It's 2-2. Fans, while we have a moment, we want to let you know that this past summer, 11 teams from across Canada participated in the Midget National Championships in Quebec City, Quebec. The midget division consists of the best 18 and under players in the country. The Blue Jays would like to congratulate the Okotoks J-Dog Midget Black for winning the tournament. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. See Torey Lovello talking with Anthony Gose, and well, you talk about manufacturing a run. Anthony Gose had an infield single, stole second, moved to third on a sacrifice, and scored on a very shallow fly ball to center. Speed will do that.
Yeah, and that's how you manufacture runs. First part of the year, if you remember, Blue Jays hit a ton of home runs and scored a lot of runs. Well, Bautista's not around. They're pitching around Encarnacion, so you've got to manufacture your runs now.
Edwin's been walked 3 times today, once intentionally. Lind has picked him up. He's had a double and a sacrifice fly, but the speed of Anthony Gose responsible for that last run. Daniel Nava chases the off-speed pitch. It's 0-2. Another good pitching duel. These two met last Sunday at Fenway Park. Buckles pitched into the 9th. He was the losing pitcher, and the winning run was scored by Anthony Gose on the shallow sacrifice fly to left field. Popped up left side of the infield, out into shallow left is Escobar. He makes the catch. 1 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Junior Jays Saturday. A lot of kids having a great time here at Rogers Center. There'll be one more Junior Jays Saturday. That'll take place September 29th when the Yankees are in town. That little lady is proud of her face painting. 1 out. Dustin Pedroia's got 0 for 2 so far. Another good breaking ball. Carlos Villanueva's had a much better breaking ball here this afternoon. As a result, he's been able to throw a lot of strikes. He's thrown 60 pitches, just 17 balls today.
I think he has really used his fastball effectively. There's another one. 90 miles an hour. He sets it up by going slow curveball, changeup, and then you can throw this 90-mile-an-hour fastball right by Pedroia.
I love the way Toriyama accentuates his target. He makes a decision and then sticks with it. He gives that target with conviction. Pedroia strikes out. Another fastball gets him 2 down.
That's been the impressive part. Just 4 strikeouts with the way he is using his fastball in and out. Away, he has kept it away from the right-handers, and Pedroia just reaches for that one.
2 quick outs here in the 6th. Cody Ross has been aboard twice and scored twice. Ross hit a solo home run in the 2nd. He walked with 2 outs in the 4th and came on to score on Jared Saltalamacchia's RBI single.
That was a big play. He had used everything he had to get to 3-2 and then threw him a changeup and thought he had him struck out. Now he's going to go backwards. He's going to start with the changeup, but he's probably going to try and get him out with fastballs and sliders.
That's the challenge for every starting pitcher in baseball, to make adjustments for the 3rd and 4th at bat of a game. Obviously, you want to be in for that 4th at bat, but you've got to be able to make changes in your approach. And there's the high fastball. You were all over that.
That was a hitter. Well, now he can go a couple different ways. He can go right back there with that high fastball. He can try one of those bending breaking balls.
And he does. Good pattern right there by Villanueva. Throw him a high fastball and then comes back with the slider for the strikeout. He strikes out a pair. Middle of the 6th. A heck of a ball game going on. It's 2-2. with Sharp contest on Facebook today. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Octopus. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today.
Pitch of that slider is working for Mr. Liriano this afternoon.
It was interesting. He made his last appearance out of the bullpen. He didn't retire a batter and gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. He only threw 4 pitches in that game in relief against the Tigers. His last start came against the Royals on the 7th. Kelly Johnson goes after the first pitch and grounds out to the second baseman. Clay Buchholz in a 2-2 game. Buchholz, we mentioned he's won his last 6 starts here at Rogers Center, and he has never allowed more than 2 runs in any of those 6 games. That's where he's at right now.
Yeah, he feels comfortable here. He also feels comfortable in the middle parts of the game. He set down 13 in a row versus the Jays last time out before the Jays rallied in the 9th inning.
Catcher Yorvi Torrealba. He's got an 0 for 2, but boy, he's done a nice job with Carlos Villanueva today. That's the beauty of being a catcher. You can have a terrible day at the plate and a beautiful game behind the plate.
And you've done your job. Bring that pitcher right through late into the ball game. Offense then is a bonus.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Get that pitcher through a game, and whatever you contribute with the bat is extra. Broken bat, and this ball is a lazy fly ball to left. That barrel all the way down to third. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Moises Sierra had a hit-and-run single in the 2nd inning. And he takes the first pitch strike. He is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Another fastball strike. We have seen this pattern from pitchers attacking Sierra lately. They have used more fastballs, and they've really focused in on the inner half of the plate.
Yeah, he has shown that he can hit a breaking ball, especially a changeup. That has really sped his bat up, and he's hit 4 home runs. When he gets to 2 strikes, they've tried to throw breaking balls off the plate.
3 fastballs and a strikeout for Clay Buchholz. This time they went down and away. Buchholz retires the Blue Jays in order. We'll go to the 7th. It's a 2-2 game. starting September 27th. That's a night game on Thursday night. Then Friday night as well. 2 afternoon games, Saturday and Sunday. For your Yankee tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log online to BlueJays.com to order your Yankee tickets. It'll be the final visit by the Yankees this season. The Blue Jays have gone 5-6 against New York so far this season. And obviously, with the pennant race so tight, that last 4-game series could be a very interesting one.
I think it's going to be huge, and I'm wondering if we'll see Andy Pettitte by then and maybe pitching that series.
Sounds like Pettitte is close to coming back, and they need him. Dane Coney takes the pitch inside. How about that? The Yankees anticipating the return of Andy Pettitte. They need him down the stretch, and he wasn't even with the club at the start of the season.
I mean, 9 starts for him and got a line drive off his foot. Had a little bit of a setback when he broke his ankle. But it sounds like, if you read all the articles on it, that he's getting close.
James Loney has gone 1 for 2 so far. This is foul down the right side. There's a base hit past Kelly Johnson into right. Loney hitting into a shift, gets it by the second baseman. His second hit of the afternoon.
3 infielders on the right side, and he could still get that ball through. Looked like a changeup down and away, and he yanks it to the right side. Johnson over, and it's just out of his reach. And now they will really put the shift on. Once again with the next batter, Jared Saltalamacchia. This would be an interesting double play if he hits another ball to Brett Lawrie right here.
Now, Kelly Johnson's got to sprint to second base and then make a very unusual pivot back to first. Up and away. Saltalamacchia, the catcher, picked up an RBI his last at bat. Came in a 4th. A 2-out single to center. Drove home Cody Ross. Late on that fastball and fouls it into the seats up in the left field foul line. Saltalamacchia has got some power. As a catcher this year, he's hit 24 home runs. That's tied for the 4th most hits by a catcher in Red Sox franchise history. Rich Gedman, Mike Stanley also hit 24 home runs. Jason Varitek had 25 in 2003, and then the record holder Carlton Fisk had 26, 2 different seasons, 1973 and 1977. Saltalamacchia, his average at 231. But once again, we've talked about this often. I don't care about a catcher's average. First, I care about how he handles himself behind the plate.
Right.
Secondly, production. I mean, most catchers aren't going to run, so what do you care if they get a single? I need doubles and home runs from my backstop.
Yeah, home runs or RBI,
Yep.
one or the other. It's interesting how they've reached the same spot when you compare J.P. Arcega. He's had 50 RBIs on 16 home runs. Saltalamacchia 55 RBIs on 24 home runs.
It's a long swing and a foul back. Saltalamacchia with 362 at bats coming into this ball game. J.P. Arcega with 299. JP's done a nice job of driving in runs. One and two. It's a 2-2 ball game. James Loney at first with a leadoff single. Ground ball. Laurie comes after it, and he'll go to first. With one out and a man in scoring position, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Wouldn't you know it, he hits the batter and then sets up a two-run home run. As they are now playing in the bottom of the seventh inning. Ryan Lavarnway, he's the DH this afternoon. He's gone 0 for 2 so far. The Blue Jays outfield, all featuring strong arms. Ghost and Sierra both have terrific arm strength. Rajay Davis has improved his throwing dramatically. He has 8 outfield assists. Ghost is yet to collect an assist, and Sierra has 3. But the two youngsters have really improved their throwing mechanics since they've been here in Toronto.
Getting out here and working on it.
The fly ball into center field. Loney goes back to tag at second, and Ghost will throw, and once again way off line. Loney takes advantage. Once he saw that was a routine out to center field, he moves up 90 feet.
One of the things that the Blue Jays have been working with Anthony Ghost on is keeping his hand in a good slot and keeping his hand on top of the baseball. I think that'll give him a truer throw when he is winding up the throw to the bases. He gets in trouble when his hand gets on the side of the ball or he doesn't get on top of it, and that's when you see those wild throws. They've talked about it, they've worked on it. It's something that, you know, is going to take some time. That's something that they should be working on when players are in the minor leagues.
2 outs. Mike Aviles takes a strike. Loney's at third. Aviles has been shut out so far. 0 for 2. Loney just 90 feet away represents the go-ahead run.
He's got a wide assortment of pitches, doesn't he? And he's unpredictable.
I think that's one of his biggest strengths, the fact that you never see any patterns developed by Villanueva. Torrey Albert recognized the significance of this pitch, didn't waste any time. And you can see Villanueva after the meeting said, "Vamos, let's go. Let's finish this inning right here."
Still in very good shape. Pitch count wise, just 80 pitches this afternoon for Villanueva. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page here.
Here's the 1-2. Got it. Carlos Villanueva with a big strikeout. Punctuation mark here in the seventh inning. He has struck out 6. Blue Jays speed. Bottom of the order, Anthony Ghost. Then Rajay Davis, the leadoff man, followed by Brett Laurie. It's a 2-2 game. second time this season, and he's had everything working.
Last time he pitched against the Boston Red Sox, last time out, he only had 2 strikeouts, the fewest in a start this year. Not so this afternoon. He has used his fastball quite well. He has mixed in some good breaking balls, a good changeup, and now for 6 strikeouts in 7 very good innings against the Red Sox. A little bit more power back to that fastball and slider this afternoon.
Yorvit Toyoda's done a good job of mixing up the pitches, but I think more than anything, Villanueva's been able to throw his breaking ball effectively here this afternoon. Anthony Gose had an infield hit his last time up and came around the bases to score the second run and tied it up. That's where we are right now, 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Goes after a borderline pitch. It's a ball on the strike. You can see the infield defense playing a couple of steps in because of Gose and his speed. Pedroia at second base, well in front of that line at the infield, and they know that they can't lay back on Anthony Gose.
Yeah, that was almost a routine ground ball to shortstop that he beat out last time to start that inning.
Now Pedroia will gauge where he's at again and probably take another step or 2 in from where he's at right now.
That's what we talked about last time. It was a 2-strike count where he just slapped at the ball. Hitters will be in a little bit more of a defensive mode with 2 strikes.
He gets a piece of it and stays alive. Many people believe that at some point Anthony Gose is going to develop into a leadoff man. The ability to get on base and utilize that great speed. He has a stolen base here this afternoon, his 15th of the season. On the ground, but right to the first baseman, Loney, who flips quickly to Buchholz. Talk about the speed. Go back to the 5th inning when Gose got it going.
2 strikes, the ball just slapped to shortstop. You can see how far Aviles was playing with 2 strikes. He beats that out and steals this one. The sacrifice fly, not very deep to center field, but with that great speed, he's going to be able to score easily to tie it up.
Speed makes the defense rush, and when you rush, you make mistakes. Ellsbury didn't have much of a throw from center field, but missed badly, and it forced Ellsbury into an error. Rajay Davis. He reached on an error in that 5th inning.
That's what I like when they have both Davis and Gose in the lineup. At the same time, they're hitting back-to-back. It can cause a lot of problems for a pitcher.
Rajay got the head out on that one. He hit it into the 5th deck, almost directly over the Blue Jays dugout. Clay Buchholz over 100 pitches now. Adam Lind picked up the sacrifice fly in the 5th inning because of the speed of Anthony Gose. For Lind, his 37th ribby, and that has tied the game. Left-hander Aaron Loop is loosening up. Number 9 hitter Pedro Siriaco is the scheduled batter in the top of the 8th inning. Carlos Villanueva, 7 innings of work here this afternoon. Davis strikes out. Buchholz changed his angle and threw that breaking ball down and away. His 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
One other time we saw him drop down like that to pick up a strikeout. He doesn't do it very often. Did it to Sierra, that sweeping breaking ball. Looks like it's going to start on the outside part of the plate and sweep right off, penalizing for a right-handed batter.
Brett Laurie fouls the first pitch back. 2 down. Off the plate outside, ball on the strike. Carlos Villanueva has held the Red Sox to 2 runs on 4 hits. He and Clay Buchholz have been tough. They have matched each other pitch for pitch.
It's what we thought. When we were lining up this game today, you got a couple of pitchers who have been pitching well. Buchholz trying to snap that 3-game personal losing streak, but he's pitched very well in it. Villanueva the same thing. No decision his last time.
A changeup in a good spot down and away. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Villanueva has tied his season-long outing. The highest inning total. Second time this year he's pitched 7 innings.
That last time might have been his best outing of the year. That was against the White Sox. He had 8 strikeouts in 7 innings.
Walked just 1 batter in that game and threw just 85 pitches. That's what he's done here this afternoon. He's only thrown 81 pitches. So you'd think he'd have enough in his tank to go back out for the 8th. Full count to Brett Laurie. Popped it up. Loney over near the seats, and it's well out of play. Torrey draws the walk. So maybe finally Edwin Encarnacion will get something to hit. He comes to the plate with 2 outs and a man at first. He's been walked 3 times, once intentionally. Andy Neiman on the phone to the bullpen. And they'll start to stir down there in right field. Mark Melanson. Looks like Craig Breslow, the left-hander, also going to start to throw.
Get him ready. And if you're Brett Laurie, just stay right over there at first base. Make him pitch to Encarnacion. He can score you from first base with an extra base hit. If you steal second, they take the bat right out of the hand.
Yeah. I think that's what was explained last time when Laurie bunted in the 5th. Encarnacion, 3 walks this afternoon. He now has been walked 77 times. Encarnacion goes after the first pitch. Siriaco in front of the shortstop. Encarnacion gets 1 pitch and grounds out to end the inning. Blue Jays leave a runner on. We'll go to the 8th. It's a 2-2 game. by Spitz Seeds. Give it a crack. Spitz are the official sunflower seeds of the Toronto Blue Jays. Cody Ross had the big crack of the bat back in the second.
Blue Jays scored a run in the bottom of the first inning. Cody Ross got that one back very quick with the home run. Ross's 21st of the season. Carlos Villanueva, his last couple of starts have been outstanding against the Boston Red Sox, except the home runs. The runs that they've scored against them have been on the home run.
Quite a difference in the pitch count between Clay Buchholz, who's thrown 111, and Villanueva just 81 pitches. What a terrific job of being pitch efficient this afternoon. Villanueva gets a chance to pitch in the 8th inning.
And I think a lot of that has to do with him using his fastball a lot. His four-seam fastball that he's thrown a lot. He's got a lot of first pitch swings, first pitch outs, lazy fly balls to the outfield. He's also had 6 strikeouts.
Good ball game. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Red Sox. Pedro Siriaco, the third baseman, looks at a breaking ball outside. Villanueva will be a free agent at the end of this season, and he's let it be known he wants to be a starter. He has worked hard to get himself physically in shape to stand up to the rigors of starting.
And if it's not the Blue Jays, I think somebody's going to pay for him.
Alex Anthopoulos, the general manager, has concerns about Villanueva's track record. He's never really started. This is the most starts he's made in a season. This is his 14th start. But on the open market, given the lack of starting pitching available in free agency, Villanueva will get a contract.
I was reading a story the other day. Kyle Loesch is going to be a free agent. And some of the numbers, good pitch there. Some of the numbers that are being thrown around on Kyle Loesch, who's having a great year. 3 years, $40 million. Teams will pay for starting pitching. But Carlos Villanueva wants everybody to know he says I can do it.
Last year he started and suffered a strained elbow in August, went on the disabled list for about 3 weeks. Siriaco, did he go? No swing, says Brian Gorman down at first. So Siriaco will reach first, starting off the top of the 8th.
From the side, it looked like a 3-2 breaking ball. Yeah, he did not make an attempt at that. So Siriaco is on first base and John Farrell is out of the dugout.
So Villanueva lets that leadoff man reach, the number 9 hitter, and his day will come to an end. What a good start for Carlos Villanueva. 2 runs on 4 hits, and Farrell is talking to him. Maybe he hasn't made the changeup. And now there is the call. He'll call for the left-hander.
Yeah.
So
he had a message he wanted to talk to and convey to Villanueva before he made that change. And what an afternoon. 7 innings. And a nice round of applause by the fans.
A career-high 14th start for Villanueva, and it's a good one. on Thursday at a 1-2-3 inning of relief against Seattle in that series finale.
He has filled the role as that second left-hander out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays, and he has really chewed up the left-handed batters. That's why he is into this game just 163. He has also struck out 17 and just walked one batter this year.
Jacoby Ellsbury shows bunt and takes it outside. Well, one thing that Loop has to be aware of is the base runner at first. Pedro Siriaco is 12 for 12 in steals. He's on board with the leadoff walk.
And while Aaron Loop was warming up, getting his warm-up tosses, Bobby Valentine came out of the dugout to talk to Siriaco. Heads up, we might put the bunt on, take it off. I might start the runner. Just be aware of all this. They might even give him a steal sign from the bench.
Ellsbury bunts it foul. It's up the first baseline.
I found that very curious that the manager would come out of the dugout to talk to his runner over at first base.
Yeah, you would think there'd be a method of communication, and here's Valentine talking to Alex Ochoa, the first base coach, and Siriaco about some of the options they have at their disposal in a 2-2 game. Adam Lynn says, well, that's pretty interesting. The manager comes out and tells you what's going on. Ball on the strike. Nobody out.
Brett Lawrie is way in at third base, anticipating Ellsbury bunting, and when Luke threw over to first base, Ellsbury didn't move. Maybe they've taken the bunt off.
Squares late and takes one outside. Ellsbury at the plate. Jerry Royster, the third base coach, going through the signs, and Pedro Siriaco at first. Heck of a ball game. 2-2, top of the 8th inning. Another pitch outside. It's 3-1. And Luke walks Ellsbury, so the first two reach, back-to-back walks in the 8th. Steve Delabar is ready in the Blue Jays bullpen. Daniel Nava, a switch hitter, is the batter. So lots of wheels spinning now. The Blue Jays infield is meeting on the mound to talk about the possibilities. Carlos Villanueva walked the leadoff man this inning. Daniel Nava, 177 against lefty pitching.
And you got to figure that he's going to be asked to try and move him up. He has had a sacrifice bunt this year. And if you're the manager, you start thinking 2 or 3 hitters past Nava. All right, if they do decide to bunt, they bunt. What do you do with Pedroia? Do you want to pitch to Pedroia, or do you want to pitch to Ross? Do I want to bring in a right-hander? Blue Jays infield think he's going to bunt.
You would have to expect it right here. Siriaco at second, Ellsbury at first. Daniel Nava squares and takes it inside. Loop's got to throw a strike. They're trying to give you an out.
First thing you're taught. When you see that batter square around, you got to throw a strike. And if you're real good, a nice firm high fastball where you can possibly pop it up.
Lynn's really going to cheat in from first. If the ball's bunted in his direction, he can go across the diamond to third, trying to get the lead runner. Lynn really crashes hard, and it's bunted to third base, and Lawrie will let it go foul. So Lynn, in this situation with the right-handed hitting Nava, will really crash early and try to get as close to home plate as possible, hopeful of getting a bunted ball his way.
He's got the right side of the infield here, and Loop's got the left side of the infield on a bunt. And Lynn's got the added advantage of being a left-handed thrower, where he can come, scoop it up, and on the run, throw the ball across the diamond to third base. A little bit tougher for a right-handed throwing first baseman.
Bunted out in front of home, and Lind will go to first base. Nava is out, and he executes perfectly, moves the runners up with the sac bunt. So now John Farrell is out of the Blue Jays dugout. He's got Steve Delabar ready, and he's made the call. And Luke gets the out. Couple of walks in the inning. The Red Sox are threatening. The strikeout, big right-hander coming in. Steve Delabar with one out. Since he's been acquired by the Blue Jays, he has really done a great job of racking up the strikeouts. Swing and a miss relievers. Since the trade deadline, Delabar 15.2 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's better than Stephen Pryor in Seattle. Jake McGee of the Rays, Tim Collins, a little left-hander from Kansas City, and Ernesto Fieri of the Angels. Delabar tops the list of power pitchers on the bullpen.
Well, this is why they got him. For these situations just like this, he's got a great fastball, and he's got a strikeout pitch, his split-fingered fastball, and that's a pitch he's getting more comfortable with the more he pitches with the Blue Jays. So he's got two pitches he can strike you out with. And this is why they got him right here. Second and third, just one out, middle of the lineup of the Boston Red Sox coming up. They need a pitcher who can come in and stop it right here.
Yeah, now this is the one thing that you have to have in the American League East. You have to have strikeout relievers, because there are so many good hitters like Pedroia in this situation who just want to put the ball in play to the outfield. Delabar will work out of the stretch. Siriaco at third. Ellsbury at second. Dustin Pedroia, first pitch splitter in there for a strike.
And his numbers since he has come to the Blue Jays against right-handed batters much better, because he has shown a lot more confidence to use that splitter against the right-handed batters. Before it was a slider, and he was getting beat by the right-handers.
And 2. Pedroia hit a home run off Delabar back at Fenway Park on Friday night, September 7th. Delabar came into the game in the 8th inning, and Pedroia hit a leadoff home run. But now Delabar's ahead 0-2. One out.
He'll still throw the slider to the right-handers. But right now, he's painting the ball down and away with his fastball and using his splitter, and that's why his numbers have been much better.
Now, I don't think you want to use your third pitch in this situation.
Not at all.
The hanging splitter that Pedroia was able to get to and fouls it off. Pedroia ripped it down the left side. 95, but up and away. Pedroia is a very good high ball hitter, and he can hit a high fastball. Torrealba tried to go down and away with that heater.
He can hit a fastball. You take a look at him and you say, okay, I can knock the bat right out of his hands. That's not the case.
Two and two. Pulled that fastball down and away. Cody Ross is on deck. Siriaco with the leadoff walk. That came against Villanueva. And Luke came into the game and walked Jacoby Ellsbury.
He has shown confidence, Puck, in that splitter, 3-2. Not afraid to throw it.
Pedroia takes the walk. The bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning. And the Red Sox will send their cleanup hitter to the plate.
He went to that splitter 3-2 and just pulled it off the plate. Right now, no harm, no foul. You walk Pedroia, you set up the double play.
Carlos Villanueva started the inning and walked the number 9 batter, Siriaco. Bases loaded. Cody Ross. Now Torrealba is going to come out and talk to Dellamar. Everything he has missed with that fastball has been pulled down and away.
And that's a pitch that he has been much better with once he's come over to Toronto. And Torrealba does a good job of calling timeout, going out there just to have a quick chat.
3 walks in the inning have loaded the bases. Cody Ross has 5 career grand slams.
This guy just turns it on when runners are on base.
That high splitter sails up out of the zone. It's 2-0. And again, that fastball down and away. I would think Ross would take a pitch.
Yeah.
Taking all the way, and Dellamar throws his strike.
Yeah, he's an RBI man, so you still have to take a pitch and make him get it over the plate. That time it just barely clips the corner.
3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-2 game. Full count. Siriaco at third, Ellsbury at second, Pedroia at first. Cody Ross has homered, walked, driven in a run, and scored 2. Villanueva struck him out to end the 6th. Breaking ball, that's that splitter, and Ross chases. Boy, what a gutsy pitch. Yorvit Torrealba, the veteran catcher, goes for that split finger pitch, and they get a huge strikeout.
Told you, he's not afraid to throw it 3-2. That's how much confidence he is developed in that split finger fastball. That one sells it, and Ross strikes out. And ball that bounces in the dirt. Big out.
Not out of the woods yet. Bases remain loaded. 2 outs. James Loney is 2 for 3 this afternoon. Good fastball as he jumps ahead. 95 with the heater. Loney's hit well with the bases loaded.
Don't try and do too much. Just get the bat on the ball. Delabar has done a great job this year versus the left-handed hitters. That splitter really has come into play against him.
Wow, Toriyama does a good job. That ball almost went all the way back to the screen. Toriyama was set up outside, and watch how badly Delabar misses.
Again, pulls that fastball. You anticipate that ball outside, and you got to shift your weight very quickly to stop that ball.
Ball and a strike. Loney pops it up. Second baseman Kelly Johnson. The inning is over. What a job by Steve Delabar. He strikes out Cody Ross for the second out and then gets James Loney to pop up. The Red Sox leave the bases loaded. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. That's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Gorgeous day on Lake Ontario as everybody's enjoying the final weekends of the summer. Summer is winding down quickly, and Greg Breslow will come in to make his 58th appearance. Breslow with the Diamondbacks and Boston this season.
So the lefty will come in. He doesn't overpower you. A little bit of a fastball, a little bit of a curveball. One of the lefties out of the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox. 17 games now since he has joined the Red Sox. He's held opponents scoreless in 14 of those games. You've got a couple of lefties scheduled in this inning, so Bobby Valentine will go to his bullpen. What a job by Steve Delabar.
Remarkable job by Delabar with the bases loaded. A full count on Cody Ross. He threw him a split finger pitch, and Ross chased the ball in the dirt for the second out of the inning. And it gets James Loney to pop up. Adam Lynn takes one inside from Craig Breslow. Buchholz does a good job in his start as well. 7 innings of 4-hit ball. He and Carlos Villanueva will both be saddled with a no decision here this afternoon. Ball on the strike to Adam Lynn. 2-2. Fouls it back. Breslow has bounced around. We mentioned he was with the Diamondbacks earlier in the season. Came up to the big leagues in 2005 with San Diego. Then had his first stint with the Red Sox. Put in 13 games for Boston in 2006. Lynn, big bouncing ball to second. Pedroia takes the short hop. And that's the first out of the inning.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Junior Jays on Saturday. A lot of kids on hand here at Rogers Center, and they've been entertained to a good ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning. Yunel Escobar has an RBI this afternoon. He's gone 1 for 3. Drove in the first Blue Jays run back in the first. We mentioned Breslow started out with Padres. He's pitched for the Red Sox, Cleveland, Minnesota, Oakland, Arizona, and now the Red Sox for a second time. Bouncing ball, big hop for Pedroia. 2 ground ball outs. Both starters really threw the ball well this afternoon. They nearly matched each other in the line. Being the Waiver pitched into the 8th inning. He walked the leadoff batter, scatters 4 hits, just 2 runs, walked the pair, and struck out 6. Very good pitch count. His game score is 65. Remember, the average game score is 49. Same for Clay Buchwald. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He walked 5 and struck out 5. He too, with a very good game score at 63.
Walks were his problem. That's why he's not around right now. 111 pitches in 7 innings and 5 walks, a factor in that. Had to pitch around Encarnacion 3 times.
Ball on the strike to Kelly Johnson.
You're going to get a breaking ball from Craig Breslow, so you might want to go up there looking for it. Lefty specialists, these kind of guys can pitch forever in the big leagues. There's another breaking ball. I mean, that's what he does.
And that's why he bounces around. His team's always looking for a left-hander in the bullpen, and Breslow certainly has proven that he can do the job. His career ERA is 3.05. And there he crosses up Kelly Johnson, throws him a fastball right on the outside corner. Breslow with a good inning. He retires the Blue Jays in the 8th. 1, 2, 3 with the strikeout. The fastball gets Kelly Johnson. price. MLB.TV Premium now also includes a free subscription to At Bat 12. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. That's great baseball. His final month of the season, right into the first 3 days of October. Later on this afternoon, the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees will hook up right here on Sportsnet. James Shields will go to the mound for Tampa Bay against Ivan Nova for the Yankees.
It's tightening up also in the American League East.
Tampa Bay won last night. They have closed ground on the front-running Orioles and Yankees. Tampa Bay 3 back of those teams that are tied atop the AL East. Later on this afternoon, Zach Britton will go up against Jared Parker in Oakland as the Orioles are trying to even that series with a game apiece. Steve Delabar did a great job of getting out of a tough situation in the 8th. He walked Dustin Pedroia to load the bases and then struck out Ross and got Loney to pop up.
You got to gear yourself up for the fastball, and you can pop it in there at 95 miles an hour. Well, when you throw 3-2 splitters with the bases loaded in just 1 out, that shows you the type of confidence he has in it.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of outs on that 3-2 splitter.
Hitters just have to gear up for that fastball.
Catcher Jared Saltalamacchia has driven in a run today. Had an RBI single in the 4th. Saltalamacchia in his second full season with Boston. He was acquired in a late season deal back in 2010 on July 31st. It's this ball to right. Moises Sierra is not going to get it. He'll play it off the wall. Saltalamacchia is headed for second. Here's the throw, and it's offline as Saltalamacchia gets the leadoff double. It'll be interesting to see now. Bobby Valentine uses a pinch runner.
He only has 6 players on his bench, so we'll see. It looked like a splitter that hung over the middle of the plate, hit hard. Sierra does a good job playing it off the wall, setting himself. But then you're right, to throw a little bit offline, nobody at second base to catch the ball. That should have been the shortstop at the bag.
Leadoff double. Ryan Lavarnway has gone 0 for 3 this afternoon after a 4 RBI night last night. Goes after the first pitch and pops it into the seats. I'm a little surprised they haven't used a pinch runner. They have Scott Podsednik on the bench. He's got great speed.
They do have a third catcher. Their backup catcher is DHing, and he's at the plate right now. They traded for Guillermo Quiros, who used to play for the Blue Jays. He's on the bench, so they do have that third catcher in case they want a pinch run for Saltalamacchia.
Lavarnway with an attempt to bunt, never got squared around and popped it back on the screen. And 2. Saltalamacchia with his second hit, a double to start the inning.
Straighten him up. They wanted that fastball up, and you can see Lavarnway anticipating that ball outside, almost walked right into a high fastball.
1 and 2, nobody out.
Pound him inside, so if he hits it, he keeps it on the left side of the infield, and that runner can't escape.
Bobby Valentine was asked about his roster here in September, and he referred to it as the weakest September roster in baseball history. The question was posed to him, would you like to have some reinforcements from Pawtucket? Pawtucket won the AAA championship in the International League, but they'll go up against the champions of the Pacific Coast League on Tuesday. So He's still not going to have any of those AAA players to call up, but he said this is a very weak roster in September. Of course, they had the big trade that sent Adrian Gonzalez to the Dodgers, and that's a big bat they missed.
Carl Crawford and Nick Punto. So there's some bodies for him. Again, just 6 extra men on the bench this afternoon. And yesterday they were playing without Pedroia, so he only had 1 backup infielder, Ivan De Jesus Jr. That's what he might have been talking about, or referring about, that in September you usually have all kind of bodies that you can go to.
Lavarnway strikes out. He's arguing that that ball hit the dirt. Jerry Royster and now Bobby Valentine are coming out to say, hey, that ball hit the dirt. And Bob Davidson's going to look at the baseball to see if there's any dirt on it. And Davidson for sure said, wait a minute, that ball hit the dirt. Now John Farrell's going to come out of the Blue Jays dugout.
And he asked, they asked him to ask the first base umpire, and he put his arm up like, yes, that is a strike. And now I don't know why they're changing it.
Well, Davidson just showed the baseball to John Farrell. And he must have shown him that there was a scuff mark on the baseball that resulted when the ball hit the dirt. Take a look at it. And it did hit the dirt. So Torrealba did a good job of holding it up immediately. But watch the ball hit the dirt just in front of Torrealba's glove. So Lavarnway is still alive. Check the ball. That's exactly what he said. Check the ball. And sure enough, Bob Davidson saw a scuff on the baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This time he strikes him out. That splitter down and away, and Delabar has his 2nd strikeout since coming into the ballgame.
Foul tip to deal with that time. Hard split finger fastball right over the top. He swings for an out.
Mike Avila's the shortstop, 0 for 3. What a job by Torrealba. With 1 out, he really threw his right shoulder into that ball in the dirt and kept Saltalamacchia at 2nd.
Yeah, not necessarily trying to catch it, just keep it in front of you. Watch how softly he just gives of his body. Leans out over that baseball and blocks it perfect.
Created a good angle to make sure that ball didn't carry him off his chest protector. Galabar's had more problems with that fastball down and away than we've seen lately. He'd really mastered that down and away fastball to the righties, but today he's pulled the ball out of the zone more often than not.
I'm talking to the manager in the scrum about that. He said that's the pitch that he's been very good at.
The left-hander is Brett Cecil. The right-hander is Brad Lincoln. Double barrel action for the Blue Jays. Time it was the splitter that was down and away. Delabar has had plenty of rest. Looking back to his last outing, it was Wednesday in the Seattle series. Worked 2 innings in that outing.
4 punch-outs and a walk.
Fly ball into center. Goes, catches it. Saltalamacchia is tagging at 2nd. Here's the throw to 3rd. It is late, and Delabar is in the perfect spot. Delabar backing up to throw at 3rd. Once it went by Brent Laurie, Delabar was right there. Saltalamacchia moves up.
That's why backup bases. Lifted to center field. Your next job is to back up the base in case this ball gets away from him. Get as deep as you can, get up against that fence if you have to, and keep that ball in play.
Yeah, that ball gets by him. It goes in the Blue Jays dugout. So it's just a habit pitchers get into, and sometimes you can get lazy and have that ball skip by you. But Saltamaki now at third base. That's a big 90 feet given the fact that Delabar throws that splitter in the dirt often.
And show a lot of confidence in your catcher right here in case you do throw it in the dirt.
Pedro Siriaco, the number 9 hitter. Steve Delabar has now thrown 37 pitches in this game. He really had the work to close out the 8th inning. That's a base hit down the left side, and it'll bang up against the wall. Saltamaki is in to score. Siriaco with an RBI double has given the Red Sox a 3-2 lead here in the 9th.
He's an interesting guy. They signed him as a minor league free agent back in December. I didn't see him in spring training a whole lot, and Siriaco has come up with some big hits for the Red Sox. Here's another one. Splitter hangs over the middle of the plate. He hits it hard down the left field line to score Saltamaki.
Red Sox use a couple of doubles here in the 9th. The 12th double by Siriaco comes off Steve Delabar, and Boston has taken a lead here in the 9th. Brett Cecil into the game. Right after this ball game, Tampa Bay and the Yankees right here on Sportsnet. James Shields for Tampa Bay against Javon Nova for New York. New York is tied with the Baltimore Orioles atop the AL East. The Tampa Bay Rays 3 games back. Brett Cecil, the left-hander, into the ball game to face Jacoby Ellsbury.
Last work 4 days ago in that Seattle series, a couple of innings against the Mariners. Touched up for a couple of hits and a strikeout. 2-4, 540 earned run average. They bring him in to face the left-hander, and this is what the Blue Jays are thinking. Can Brett Cecil come in out of the bullpen now this last month, be effective against left-handed batters?
down and away. He falls behind Ellsbury. Boston scored 3 runs in the 9th inning in last night's game to win at 8-5. They have taken the lead this afternoon on a 2-out double by Pedro Siriaco.
Ellsbury has done a good job this year versus left-handed pitching. He's actually hitting for a higher average, although it's a smaller sample, versus left-handed pitching this year as opposed to righties.
Siriaco with good speed at second base. There he goes. And it's a strike. Siriaco standing up, stealing third. But Cecil, knowing he's in for the short stints, both of his last 2 pitches have been 93, a little better velocity than what we saw when he was starting.
Yeah, give me everything you've got for shorter stints and see if it plays.
I think the one thing that's going to enable Cecil to be effective is his ability to throw the breaking ball to left-handed hitters and throw it for a strike.
Put it in a good spot. So far, so good. Lefty's hitting about 200 against Brett this year.
Full count. Switch hitting Daniel Nava is on deck. Ellsbury got to that pitch down and away and stays alive.
Good spot right there at that fastball. Down and away.
These two have faced each other a lot. Cecil was a starter. It's the 13th at bat for Ellsbury against Brett Cecil. He has just 2 hits. And now he'll take a walk. Ellsbury walks for a second time this afternoon. He's walked his last 2 at bats. I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Sox try to steal a run here with Ellsbury and Siriaco. They're 2 best base runners.
They got it set up like that. That's why Torrealba is out in front of the plate to go through the signs. First and third situation. He's telling his infielders where he's going to throw the ball in case Ellsbury takes off at first. Infielders might just hold their ground and just give him that.
Now it takes a strike. Andrew Bailey picked up his 3rd save of the season in last night's game. Gave up a 2-out single, but picked up a couple of strikeouts. He struck out Colby Rasmus to end the game. Ball on a strike. Red Sox have scored a run here in the 9th. A leadoff double by Saltalamacchia and a 2-out double by Pedro Siriaco has given them the lead.
Good pitch there. Change up on a 1-1 pitch. Alba came up with a big base hit in last night's game. And he came up with a defensive play last night.
And a 2-run single in the 5th inning. and broke a 3-3 tie. Here's where I'd really be concerned about these two base runners.
Right, with 2 strikes. If they try and steal a base, maybe steal a run.
Ellsbury not moving. Alves strikes out. So Brett Cecil strikes out Daniel Nava to end the top of the ninth. Your Vitor Alba, the catcher, will lead things off. Then Moises Sierra. He has a hit, as does Anthony Gose. Blue Jays down by a run. Bailey into the ballgame. Bailey making just his 13th appearance of the season. He was out with a thumb injury most of the season. He picked up his 3rd save last night with a one where they gave up a single and struck out a pair. So he's on to face the bottom 3rd of the Blue Jays order.
Fastball, he comes right over the top. He'll cut it a little bit like a slider, and this little slow breaking ball. First 3 major league seasons, he converted 90% of the save chances. 3rd highest save percentage in the American League at that time. So when he's healthy and he's on, he's pretty good.
Your Vitor Alba. Catcher's got over 3. Two and out. Kobe Erasmus has grabbed the bat. He is loosening up on deck. He would bat for Moises Sierra. Popped up over near the seats. Loney has room. Torrealba is down. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. We'll be right back at it tomorrow afternoon. The last game between the Red Sox and Blue Jays for the 2012 season. It all starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show. The pitching matchup is a good one. Brandon Morrow goes up against John Lester. And it should be a good one. Morrow coming off a disappointing start last time out. 4 2/3, 11 hits, 4 runs against Seattle. John Lester, he too, has had a disappointing season. Kobe Erasmus, the pinch hitter. It's the first pitch breaking ball inside.
He's 5 1/3 innings for Lester last time out. 4 2/3 for Morrow. So both of them well rested. Should be a good one.
Rasmus, as a pinch hitter, just 1 for 3 this season.
And you know what he is looking for right here. He's looking for that one pitch that he can put a good swing on and get at least an extra base hit. Outfield is deep. They don't want anything over their head. He represents the tying run. Loney at first base guarding the line.
Rasmus, you can see the defense playing slightly to pull on the infield, and the same in the outfield. 1-2. Fastball, strike 3. Bailey last night had a pair of strikeouts, including Rasmus to end the ball game. Gets him again with that same pitch, fastball down and away.
Yeah, he put curveball in his mind also with that curveball for strike 1, and then got a fastball for strike 2, and then hit that outside corner for the strikeout.
Anthony Gose has gone 1 for 3 this afternoon. Blue Jays down to their last out.
Gose has faced Bailey before.
His first big league home run against Andrew Bailey at Fenway Park.
That was a fastball that was down and in, and Gose was able to turn on it.
Three and 1. Can't imagine that Bailey wants anything to do with putting Gose on base. Yep. Davis on deck.
Struck him out in last night's game.
Just foul. Ball sliced down the left field line and just sliced into foul territory.
So like last night, he's got to challenge it with the fastball. Doesn't want to walk him. Gose inside out swing, a little tardy on that fastball, and you can see slicing foul.
Three, two outs. Bouncing ball up the middle, in there for a base hit. Gose is aboard. His second hit of the afternoon.
And this is going to get interesting right here. Bailey versus Gose at first base. Single right back through the middle. Out of the reach of Aviles and into center field. And now Gose with that great base stealing ability. You know he's going to want to try and get into scoring position.
You can see Torey Lovullo talking about times to Anthony Gose at first. The time it takes Bailey to unload the pitch to the catcher. Rajay Davis, he had a hit against Bailey last night. Slide step strike from Andrew Bailey.
And I think if you're the Red Sox, the guy they're looking for is at the plate. And I know you have to pay attention to Gose, but thinking about getting that batter.
There goes Gose, and it's fouled out of play. Anthony Gose had a good break, but Davis had to protect the plate and fouls it into the seats. 0-2. Davis and Bailey were teammates in Oakland. And last night, Rajay Davis delivered a 2-out single to center against Andrew Bailey.
That was on a fastball.
Strikes out, and the ball's in the dirt. Saltalamacchia goes to first. The game is over. The Red Sox, for a second consecutive game, score in the 9th inning and have won the first 2 games. Pedro Siriaca with an RBI double. The difference in the ball game, Red Sox have taken the first two of this series. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned. Tampa Bay, New York Yankees coming.